Namaste guys, welcome back to the channel, and also if you're new, a fresh welcome to you as well. So I just decided to sort of like make a chapter wise Cavalier monthly quest completion using 4-star champions, not because I'm some uh, immensely skilled player, but this is pretty much targeted towards freshly Cavalier kind of players, while some average tier players who might be interested in this quest, and also they might not happen to have a lot of counter champions as 5-star or 6-star. So the idea of making this series is to sort of like help them and motivate them that this can be done using 4 stars as well. So before beginning, let's start by reading the notes, which are sidestep strike, meaning if you use Spider-Verse heroes, symbiote champions, Sinister 6, or in general science champions as well, every time you knock down the opponent you get an evasion charge, and every time you evade you get 2 cross fight abilities, cross charges, as well as passively stun the opponent for 0.9 seconds, just sort of a second, and that will also work as an opening to your fight. And also every cross charge will give us a couple of furies, increasing our special attack, general attack by 30%. So in total we can get up to 300% attack boost using these nodes. And apart from that, the opponents also will be unblockable every 6 seconds. And to counter that, you'll have to bait their attacks, if I may, because after they have that unblockable charge, every time they attempt to attack you, doesn't matter whether it makes contact or not, it will be consumed. But the timer will keep running, and every 6 seconds the opponent, the defender, will keep getting those unblockable. So that can be a little bit risky, so you have to keep an eye on that. And yeah, that's about it. And also we'll have our evasion charges to sort of have it like a safety window as well. So make sure that you parry only when the unblockable is on cooldown, and just like that, every time they attempt to attack you, the unblockable charge will be consumed. So you'll have to keep an eye on that. And also there are some defenders who might become unstoppable during the fight, so make sure that you check the defenders before you choose your path. And if you use either of Sinister 6, Symbiote champions, Spider-Verse heroes, or Science champions, it will be quite beneficial for you, and that is specifically for chapter 1.1. And yeah, for Mangok, he can become unstoppable if he has 10 sin charges, and if he uses his special attack, it will make him unstoppable as well as unblockable. But for She-Hulk, we can pretty much counter the unstoppable both by the slow debuff as well as with our heavy attacks. So yeah, that's about the first fight, and it's just a ransom repeat, so I'm speeding up the fight so that it doesn't become quite boring for you guys. And also if you are smart enough, you can counter him with heavy after his SP1 as well, and also you can use the evasion charge as an opening, after which the defender is going to be passively stunned for 0.9 seconds. So you can either use your medium, light, or heavy attacks, but make sure that you do it really quickly. Next one is anti-venom. You don't have to be worried about anything in specific, apart from, of course, I think disorient debuff, which he may apply on you. So what it does is it makes your defensive ability accuracy reduced, so chances are that you might fail to stun him with your parries as well as the evasions. So you have to be a little bit cautious about that as well while fighting anti-venom. And also apart from that, he's going to be gaining a lot of power, which is namely combat power. So also, if you are not quite comfortable evading his SP2, try not to push him over that 2 bars of powers. But and sword is just a javelin throw, so it should not be a problem if you practice a couple of times. It's just as simple as SP2 as well. But still, for safety, it's better if you stick to his SP1. Just a few seconds and this fight should be over as well. And it's done. So that was anti-venom for you. Up next, I think we have Man-Thing. The only annoying thing about this fight would be, of course, his ability to inflict poison on you. So as long as you have a champion that is poison immune, you don't have to be worried. And also, some people seem to struggle a little bit with his SP1, which is not a big problem. I'll try to show you a couple of times how to do it, and maybe speed up the fight after that. So let's bait this. There we go. So when you have evasion charge, you don't have to be worried about being counter-attacked while trying to dash at him after his SP1, but make sure that you have those charges. Now I think it's safe to speed up the fight. So the main idea of this first chapter is to keep knocking them down and then getting those evasion charges and then triggering those evades so that you get those fury buffs, and then possibly make the fights as short as possible. And also, an annoying part of fighting Man-Thing is he doesn't take a lot of damage through critical damage. So yeah, that's another problem. But also with our SP2 we'll be inflicting him with Petrify, so every time he tries to regenerate, he'll be degenerating instead. So yeah, a little bit of a longer fight, 85 hits in total, but it's alright, I think. Next on the list is Sabertooth. Some people seem to get caught by his SP1 as well as SP2, so make sure that you are quite aware of that. Actually, his SP1 in fact is quite beneficial for us. If we are using champions like She-Hulk, we can counter it with our heavy as well if he manage to do the proper spacing, just like that. And also, if you are not very comfortable, don't push him to SP2, because he might become unblockable during that phase. But if you want to see how to do this, here we go. So that's how you evade his SP2, which is not a big deal. You just need a couple of practices and then you can nail it. So now, just like the other ones, let's speed up the fight, and I'll see you in the next fight. Alright, so Sabertooth done, and the next one I think is Captain Marvel. Yeah, so this is one interesting fight for us, because we are going to be using Simba Supreme for this last node, which is Hot Temper, because he's tactical. He's called tactical because he's a symbiote champion, and all the furies that we gain from this fight, we can use it as our cross fight ability, and that will help us in the boss fight as well. So yeah, one thing you might want to be aware in this case is that Captain Marvel is extremely aggressive, so make sure that you don't get caught by her. I'm only using my evasion charges to sort of like stun her and then counter attack with my heavy. I reach up to my SP3, and after this the fight should be easy. The fight could have been a lot easier as well, but our main strategy here is to gain those 5 charges so that we can benefit from that 75% increased damage or increased attack rating. So I have pushed her to SP2. Make sure that you don't do that if you are not quite sure how to evade it, because the same story, she can become unblockable and may wreck you. Right here I got caught by one SP1 and costed me a little bit of health, and also here I was doing an SP2 after a couple of hits, and it got blocked for some reason, I don't know. So yeah, leg OP. So that was Captain Marvel for you, and up next is the mini boss fight, which is going to be Mephisto. Not a complicated fight at all. He can incinerate you, but we are using Human Torch with pre-fight ability. The fight should be quite quick. Nothing much to say about this fight, so I will probably see you in the boss fight. Alright, so Mephisto done, and we'll now move on to the boss fight, which will be Super Scroll. And maybe let's start by looking at the notes, which will be we have removed the additional 100% health one. Apart from that, we have Enhance Incinerate, Enhance SP2. I can do this all day. If you armor break him, he will gain another armor up. And also he has Aggressive Fury, meaning you'll have to play aggressively, and also a good defense, meaning every time you parry you'll inflict him with debuffs, and if you trigger dexterity or if you evade his attacks, you will gain buffs, and the buffs will be armor up, fury, precision, or power gain. And as you can see, we have 5 pre-fights which have increased our attack by 75%. So yeah, the first goal would be to reach towards our SP3 while staggering him as much as we can, and possibly throw our SP3 when we have 100 genetic potential. That way we can gain a lot of power immediately after that. And a couple of things to be worried about in this fight would be, of course, his falter mechanism, which triggers every 25 seconds, and you'll have to either attack him, which is risky, or hit him on the block, or maybe use your SP3 and it will expire. So you'll have to be aware of that thing. And apart from that, of course, it has aggressive fury, so if you don't attack him for a long time, his attack will be boosted by quite a lot, so even a block damage can be detrimental. But because after SP3, Super Supreme gets a protection of 15%, so we can feel free to sort of like parry him. And right there we sort of like hit him on the block so that his falter goes away. And we are back to another SP3. And right there we can parry as long as we have that armor phase on. And just a couple of combos and the fight should be over. And he's done. So as you can see, not that difficult, just about 50 hits I think, and you can use other champions as well, but Mystic champions would be more advisable. So that was chapter 1.1. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to like, leave a comment, share with your friends, and also stay tuned for other chapters. I'll be uploading them as soon as I can. And yeah, till then, take care, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.